Hey everyone, welcome to video number 11. Video number 11 is going to be talking about buying goods from liquidation markets. So liquidation, most of these liquidation websites I'm going to be talking about is mainly auction related liquidations. So liquidation.com is one. Bstock is another one. bstocksupplies.com. Tech Liquidator is a Best Buy company, so you're buying secondhand Best Buy merchandise. eBay Wholesale. Genico Marketplace, another big reseller. And I'm also going to teach you about Easy Sniper. So basically, instead of you waiting around to bid on the auction when it happens, you could just use this service which they offer. They'll bid on your behalf on the last 5 minutes or the last minute, so it saves you a lot of time. You set the maximum bid and it'll do it for you, so no waiting around, getting emotional about your bids. So the first tutorial I want to show you is liquidation. So liquidation is actually a very big website. It's a public traded company. They have all sorts of categories. You can see clothing, computer, consumer electronic, general merchandise, houseware, jewelry, and store fixtures. So you have choices of conditions. So new, used, refurbished, return, self-pull, and salvage. Salvage means basically it's broken. You resell it you salvage items for the parts. You strip it apart and try to reassemble it. You could buy. There's different type of shipments. You gotta remember. Everybody, when you start out, you just think of UPS. So there's also like pallets. Pallets is when it's a special freight delivery, and the shipping rates could vary anywhere from $50 to sometimes a couple $100. So be aware that you can even buy entire truckloads of merchandise. Also, you can buy truckloads. There's all sorts. There's also type of shipping. So it's also there's also different location their warehouses at. So sometimes if you're buying a pallet or you're buying a truckload of items, I suggest you to purchase it within the closest location to you to reduce the shipping charges. Okay, so let's pick an auction that looks good. Let's pick on this one. Bath ventilation and exhaust fans. So let me give you a little overview here. Currently there's no bids, zero, as you can see. The first there's no bids. Starting bid's $100. It's telling you per unit in this lot is $769, and if you want to bid on it, it's $100. You put in $100 right here. And time left is 2 days. This auction does actually end 2 days from now, and there's 13 items. And okay, let's go down here. Total lots available 1. Auction type standard. Condition, everything you're buying here is return. So these are the photos of the return items. Small exhaust fans, sinks, and more. So they have limited. There's 6 photos here, as you can tell. They don't take photos of everything, so there's 13 items. Total weight's 172. And keep in mind, there's going to be a buyer's premium. So this one, the buyer's premium is 8%. So basically, if you win this auction, you're going to have to pay an 8% fee that liquidation takes to manage these auctions. The location where this product is, it's in Cranberry, New Jersey. Here's the zip code. Shipping term, you can actually arrange to pick up the items yourself if you want to save some money. So it's not bad if you happen to live in New Jersey or live nearby. You could just go pick it up yourself. There may be a fee to pick up, but it's much cheaper than shipping it with UPS or a freight company. So let's click on View Manifesto. So this is the content you're gonna get. So it gives you the product name, quantity. Retail price. Retail is the manufacturer suggested retail price. Brand new. Remember, it's brand new. Assuming it's brand new. The make, even gives you the UPC. So you can even take this UPC. You go to Amazon. Type in the UPC. And looking at Amazon, you can see someone selling it for $215. New. But remember, these are used. Return items are new. Return items are used, but there's no seller for used. I'd say most of the time a used product is priced 30% toward comparable to a new price. So let's go back here and let's go back here. So note, this one has a note. It says cosmetic issue. So cosmetic issue, it doesn't say anything about functionality, so basically it's just minor scuffs. You might have a couple of dent here and there on the item, but you gotta remember, when you're buying a new product, when you're buying returns from liquidation, a lot of the times the product might not even work. Consumer returns, they just bundle it and they just push it as is. So sometimes a customer returns products, it might be defective, but they don't state it, you might be getting it, unfortunately. So that's like the risk you have to take. So let me give you another auction to look at. This time I'm going to describe a little bit more about, let's search for, let's do a more advanced search. Let's click on new. I clicked on new. Okay, going over here. So title, it's pretty easy. Condition, brand new, like I said, I clicked on new. The sellers, it's like an eBay seller. There's certain sellers that you always buy from, because of their reputation. And this lot has 146 items. The current price is $120. There's 3 bids. Locations in New Jersey, like I said, to save on freight. You try to bid near if you're gonna pick it up yourself, or if you're concerned about shipping charges. This auction ends today at 9 a.m. So I'm gonna click into this auction. So first thing here, it gives you a photo. Let's click on a photo. So these aren't the best pictures. A lot of these pictures are really bad. So this is what you're gonna get. It's pretty accurate. So the photos you see will be the products you get. Some of these are not the best looking merchandise. They're not the best looking photographers. They do not take pictures of every single item. So sometimes, I think I just went through like 10 pictures. So not bad, but there's 146 items. So obviously majority of the items has not been photographed. So let me go back to this auction. There's 3 bids currently. At current bid's $120. 144 units in this auction, 146. And it's 82 cents per item. So if you want to bid on this auction, you just put in 130. Let's say, for example, if you put 1300 by accident, so it's actually I'm not sure the exact term. So it's not going to actually force you to pay 1300. If nobody bids, after you, you'll win the auction 130. But if someone decides to bid, it'll automatically keep incrementing to whatever their max bid is. So I doubt it'll go up to 1300 because this MSRP over here is only 1530. So let me scroll down a little bit. We're going to click on the manifesto again. So this is all new, as it states over here. Here's the barcode. You could take all this information and try to figure out what the actual retail content is worth. So even though it says $57, if you want to turn these items fast, you might have to sell it for 30-40% of the suggested retail price. Okay, so let's go to sellers. Let me give you a little information about how to read the seller's performance report. Unlike unlike eBay, Amazon, they give you active feedback about the seller. So when you're on eBay, you can read the description, how the delivery time is, how well the communication with the client is. So this one, the information you get is, this guy's a very active reseller on Liquidation. You can see 1,000 plus auctions in the last 30 days, 90 days, 10,000. It's a lot of auctions. Average day to ship 0.5. So basically, the second you pay for Liquidation.com gives you 2 days to make your payment. So what it's saying here is like pretty much immediately after you make the payment on a business day, they'll ship it out same day. The dispute rate is 0.5. The dispute rate is usually as claims, they might have got the wrong merchandise, or they might have stated the package new, but when you got your item, it's used. So these are the dispute rates. But the repeat buyer rate is 80%. So when 80% means there's a lot of people coming back to buy his stuff. So another thing that you could say about this, his merchandise is he has very good merchandise that he's reselling out. So it's not like some regular seller that, it's possible. It's possible when it's selling you returns, a lot of the item is just defective, or you just can't resell it. So, but a lot of buyers are coming back to him. 80% is huge. So seller cancellation, he never, he honors all his auctions, so there's no cancellation on his behalf. So this guy's he's a trustworthy seller. If you want to see his other stuff, so all you gotta do is click on view online returns other auctions over here. So shipping, it's 135 pounds. So shipping's gonna be like $80-$90 for this. So $80-$90. Remember to add it into your per unit cost. It's gonna bring up this auction to $1.60 per unit, $1.60 something per unit. So make sure you can still stand a profit at it. So overall, this auction is gonna cost you. Let's say you win it 130. You can add another $100 for shipping, so $230. So you're paying close to, close to 20% MSRP. So let's click on so these are all the other stuff he's selling. He has a lot of stuff. Returns. I'm looking at the second column, returns. Let's read. This is sorted by default. It's sorted by end time. So, but you can also sort it based on quantity, what's the current number of bids, location. It's lots of different options here. I usually take the default. And what I usually look for is which most active auction, because most active, if you don't know how to read everything, the shortcut is basically taking a look at which one's the most active, because it generates a lot of interest. It means there's some content in here that's extremely valuable to a number of people, because there's 60 bids, got to be at least 2 to 3 bidders after these merchandise. So let's take a look at this one. This one has 60 bids, a lot of prepaid phones. It's brand new, very nice. So Motorola G prepaid, total 60 total bids. Current bid is $975. If you want it, it's $1,000. Next minimum bid's $1,000. Highest bidder. It doesn't give you the full username. It's just first letter and the last letter. So right now it's $37.50. $37.50. Let me give you some of the fees. What's going on? $37.50. There's an 8% fee. So let's say you win it $1,000, so you're gonna have to pay $1,080, and let's see how much shipping is. 28 pounds is not bad. 28 pounds shipping would be like $20-$30. So we're talking about $1,100. We're gonna add $1,100. Let's read the manifesto. It should be, or Motorola G's, yes it is. Motorola G's, each unit is worth, brand new, is worth $78. Which is about right. You know, if you walk into a Boost Mobile store or a Best Buy, you're gonna, if you see this product, the prices can range anywhere from, you know, 60 up to $100. So these Sims, since this is brand new, the ESN should be clean on this. So if you're familiar, if you know what I'm talking about, you know how mobile phones are sold. So you know, there's a lock from carriers sometimes. Either the phone got stolen or the contract isn't clear. So this is the video for liquidation. I'm going to continue on another video for the other auction sites.